ABC6 News.
11 o'clock on the dot on this Alert Day Wednesday. It's day 2 of that significant snowstorm that will be really making its appearance felt as the day continues, especially this afternoon and evening. Right now, though, still dealing with that band of moderate snow that was across northern Iowa earlier this morning. Now it's lifting north into southern Minnesota and causing some issues on the road. Zooming out the map just a little bit more, you can see plenty of snow still to the west and southwest. That's why we're still continuing to see these winter storm warnings, and eventually those blizzard warnings go into effect. Those blizzard warnings in effect, say, within the hour or so. We're going to see some major impacts felt out of this storm. Even though it might not feel like it right now, the snow will continue to come down at a pretty good rate, especially for this afternoon and this evening. We'll time it out with Storm Tracker coming up.
News everywhere right now.
Coming up on ABC6 News Daytime, people are cleaning up after last night's snow as more is on its way.
I'm just trying to make sure that I'm staying on top of the shoveling so that I don't have to lift a ton of snow by the time all of it is on the ground.
How people are preparing for round 2. Plus, area snowplows are working around the clock to keep travelers safe on the roads. Thank you for joining us on this wintry Wednesday. I'm Jessie Klinger. We begin today with our team coverage of the current snowstorm impacting our area. Our Devin Martin is standing by live in northern Rochester to bring us the latest on how residents are handling the storm. And he'll be joining us in just a few minutes. But first, ABC6 News Good Morning reporter Sydney Zatz is live to share how area snowplows are keeping us safe. Sydney.
Good morning, Jesse. I'm here in Rochester, right off of Civic Center Drive Southwest. We had a bit of a break this morning, but let me tell you, things are getting slippery again very fast. There are more than 100 snowplows out in the 11 county region of southeast Minnesota, 102 plows to be exact. Mike Doherty with the Department of Transportation tells me drivers are working in 12-hour shifts, midnight to noon and noon to midnight. In comparison, for lighter snow events, all plows are still out, but they are not in action around the clock. It does make a difference when you know a bigger storm is coming.
Everybody knew it was coming. They could prepare, kind of get ready. They knew they'd be called in. And that's what they're doing. You know, they're just, they're professionals. This is what they're trained for. So, you know, they take it as kind of a professional challenge, but it is also kind of wearing and exhausting, you know, the longer you get into these longer, heavy-duty snowstorms. Tow plow can kind of swing out to the side.
That big plow you see on your screen right now is a tow plow. Those will be brought out for this storm and are capable of clearing multiple lanes at once, including Highway 52. Doherty tells me there were a few spinouts this morning, but it's really a big tune-up for tonight when the heavier snow starts to hit our area. Coming up our next half hour, I'll share what it would take to get plows off the road altogether, what kind of conditions we would need to see for that to happen. I'll tell you coming up. In Rochester, Sydney Zatz, ABC6 News.
All right, Sydney, thank you. Stay warm out there. And as she just said, we've been seeing a few spinouts this morning, even though the worst of the snow is still on its way. Again, there have been plenty of crashes throughout the region. Speaking of this crash that just happened within the last hour, as you can see here in this video on your screen, it appears that at least one vehicle went through the guardrail. Again, this is on Highway 63 in South Rochester. And the city of Rochester is restricting downtown parking for the next few days. Starting today, you will not be able to park downtown until after 11 a.m. Then your car must be moved at midnight. So again, no parking downtown between midnight and 8 a.m. And that restriction will continue until Monday, the 27th. All streets that fall under this notice have already signs posted with this information. Any vehicles in violation will be ticketed and towed. In other cities that have declared snow emergencies or parking restrictions due to the incoming inclement weather, those include Austin, who has put its emergency parking ordinance in effect, and Casson has issued a snow emergency. And in Iowa, both Mason City is under an emergency snow route and Forest City has issued a snow event. And in Clear Lake and Ventura, the snow ordinance just went into effect today at 11 a.m. And again, we're in day 2 of this winter storm, and we're going to keep talking about it. Many people are out and about cleaning up their driveways and sidewalks this morning. Joining us now live in downtown Rochester is ABC 6 News anchor Devin Martin with more on how people are faring. Devin.
Hey, Jesse, yes. Well, these, quite frankly, are everywhere that you look. It's like the sound of music, right? I mean, people are shoveling their sidewalks, people are using their snow blowers, and just making sure that they could clean up all the snow that is already here. Now, Minnesotans and North Iowans, of course, know how to clean up all this snow. They've done it before. And many people I talked to are saying that they are actually looking forward to it. Now, one woman you'll hear from, Amy, said that she's been out plowing the snow since this morning.
I wish I had replaced my snowblower a year ago, but I haven't, so I'm doing the best I can with an aging snowblower.
So she was clearly looking forward to it, and she is clearly excited to be out and doing this like a lot of other people are. Now, coming up in our next half hour, you're going to hear more from Amy, then you'll also hear from another woman named Julie I talked to about what it's like to clean up all this snow and managing to stay positive as we are in day 2 of this storm. In Rochester, Devin Martin, ABC 6 News. Jesse and Jim, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Devin, thank you, and stay warm out there as well. Also this morning, we're keeping an eye on flight cancellations at both the Rochester and Minneapolis-St. Paul international airports. Now, according to FlightAware, right now, there are over 410 canceled flights, both arriving and departing from MSP, and 81 delays. And we're already seeing flights being canceled and delayed for tomorrow, Thursday, with over 700 cancellations and hundreds of delays. Meanwhile, at the Rochester International Airport, today 2 flights are canceled with 1 flight already canceled for tomorrow. Some airlines are issuing travel waivers, so make sure to stay up to date with your flight information if you are traveling over the next few days, as this is expected to change. And some events that are being held within Minnesota are keeping their eyes on the weather as well. Rochester favorite Social Ice officials are monitoring the storm and say they are taking each weather element on case by case. Right now, they don't foresee the snow being a problem for their ice carvers, who will begin their work today. And the MSHSL girls hockey tournament is still proceeding as scheduled in St. Paul. Games are currently scheduled today through Saturday the 25th. The Albert Lea Tigers are scheduled to take on War Road Warriors tonight at 6 p.m. And you can catch all those games live on our sub-channel 6.2, This TV. And with the second round of snow about to move into our area, it's important to stay up to date with the latest conditions. Make sure to download the ABC 6 mobile app for all your winter storm needs, including school closures and the latest forecast. New overnight, lawmakers in the Minnesota Senate passed the historic driver's license for all bill. It was finally voted on just before 2 a.m., passing on a party line vote of 34 to 31 in favor of Democrats. The measure now heads to Governor Tim Walz's desk, who is expected to sign it. It would allow people to get a driver's license or state identification card regardless of immigration or citizenship status. Efforts to pass this legislation have been ongoing since 2003. Also from the Capitol, Governor Tim Walz has signed 2 more bills into law. House File 35 allows the Minnesota Department of Management and Budget to include inflation in future state budget forecasts, providing transparency and a clear picture about Minnesota's finances. State Senator Republican Carl Nelson of Rochester saying the bill did not specify which indicator would be used to determine inflation rates. Also, House File 50 is now in law. This bill authorizes the DNR to make changes to improve Minnesota's state park and recreational area boundaries and properly transfer Minnesota County and state lands. Today is Officer Eric Matson Day in Minnesota. The day was selected in honor of Officer Matson's badge number, which is 222. Now, it's been 3 years since the Waseca police officer, Eric Matson, was shot in the head and critically injured while in the line of duty. Matson is doing well, and he continues to be surrounded by his daughters, wife, and the Waseca community. In 2020, he was awarded the Officer of the Year by the Minnesota Chiefs Police Officer Association. And Minnesota lawmakers had also passed the ARC Matson bill, strengthening the penalties for people convicted of assaulting an officer. Also today is the 43-year anniversary of the Miracle on Ice. The United States Olympic hockey team upsets the Soviets 4-3 in the 1980 Winter Olympics in Lake Placid, New York, to move forward to the gold medal game against Finland. That's where the U.S. team went on to win the gold medal, led by coach and Minnesota native Herb Brooks. Now, this game is just very dear to a lot of Minnesotans' hearts, as 13 of the 20 players were from Minnesota. And honestly, it still remains one of the greatest sports moments and Olympic moments in history.
Heard that call many times before, and just hearing it again, do you believe in miracles? Yes, I still get goosebumps. Unfortunately, we don't have a miracle on our way today, pushing all that snow out of the area. We're in for it here, folks, as the day goes on. Those roads getting pretty slick. Here is 40th Street South and Highway 63, a multi-vehicle accident there, likely to slow the commute in that vicinity. And just think, this is still nothing compared to what is on the way for this afternoon and especially for the evening and the overnight. Starting to clear the snow across northern Iowa, a few lingering light snowflakes here or there. We're seeing that line, that narrow band of moderate snow now moving through our southern Minnesota communities across the Weather First area. Seeing a lull again starting to develop, but we're back building to our west. We'll continue to watch that snow chance really encompass the area by about 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon up until dinner, then shortly after midnight, getting into that morning commute on Thursday. Those are the two waves of heaviest snow with that persistent snow still in between each wave. And on top of that, we're looking at very strong winds gusting around 40 to 45 at times. That is going to lead to those issues on the roads. Travel could be impossible at times, especially later tonight into early tomorrow morning. Not the best time frame because many people might still have to work tomorrow. You might want to reconsider any travel plans you have. I know it's a state hockey tournament this weekend. Obviously, Albert Lee Tigers, the girls are playing today. Just be careful.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and as we've been saying, if you can stay home. Stay home, definitely.
Yes.
But I just want to give a quick shout out to you. You've been doing some great coverage.
Thank you very much.
I know it's exhausting covering
Yes.
3 alert days, but
Yep.
thank you for keeping us informed and safe, Joe.
It's a job. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, coming up, yesterday was Fat Tuesday, and today is Ash Wednesday. But the winter weather is causing many churches to change their service plans. When we come back, how a downtown Minneapolis church is adapting. Stay with us.
So many people are overweight now and asking themselves, why can't I lose weight? For most, the reason is insulin resistance, and they don't even know they have it. Conventional starvation diets don't address insulin resistance. That's why they don't work. Now there's Release from Golo. It naturally helps reverse insulin resistance, stops sugar cravings, and releases stubborn fat, all while controlling stress and emotional eating. At last, a diet pill that actually works. Go to golo.com to get yours.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
watching ABC 6 News Daytime with Devin Martin, Jesse Klinger, and Weather First meteorologist Jim Peterson.
Welcome back. We're taking a live look outside at downtown Rochester with our Broadway Plaza tower cam, again, in downtown Rochester. You can see a fresh coat of snow has fallen in the past 24 hours here, but it's going to look a lot different come tomorrow morning. Well, today is Ash Wednesday, and here in Minnesota, the weather may cause problems for some Christians. Reporter Joe Mason has the latest from the Basilica of St. Mary in downtown Minneapolis and what they're telling people about services today.
Stopped into the Basilica of St. Mary, I passed along the way. Well, I got down on my knees, and I pretend to pray.
Let us give thanks to the Lord our God.
You know the preacher like the cold. He knows I'm gonna stay.
Well, there's a storm coming. They say 2 feet of snow or something, so, it's awful.
Father John Berger won't be California dreaming, but rather Hawaii dreaming on Ash Wednesday.
My first assignment, I was the associate in that parish.
He spent nearly 2 decades at a church in Honolulu.
How would you compare the weather in Minneapolis to Honolulu?
I shouldn't use those kind of words. What can I say?
He took bread and giving thanks.
Despite the storm, 3 services at the Basilica on Ash Wednesday are still scheduled.
Coming for ashes is not obligatory. It's not a holy day of obligation.
The noon and 5:30 services are being live streamed for those who can't make it to Mass because of the storm.
It's not worth risking your life, and you start Lent whether you get the ashes or not, so.
Gary Somerville attended Mass on Tuesday. Even with a snowstorm,
it could take me 2 hours.
He plans on being back here for ashes on Wednesday.
We live in Minnesota, so you don't like old man winter, maybe this isn't the place to live.
Speaking of winter,
I think it's going to be, a difficult.
And places to live.
It never ends here.
Father is Hawaii dreaming of saying aloha to our Minnesota winter. In case you're wondering, the forecast for Honolulu on Wednesday, 80 degrees and scattered thunderstorms. You should check your church website to see if masses are going to be held. Because of the storm, the Archdiocese is allowing parishes to give out ashes on Thursday through Sunday.
Again, that was Joe Mason reporting. I would also like to be in Honolulu right now, but I'm here giving you the news. Well, still to come. While we're in the midst of this major winter storm, we're not the only ones. When we come back, how people across the country are preparing as 43 states are having winter storm alerts. And Jim is back with your Alert Day weather first in 2.5 minutes.
Good morning, everybody. Here are the snowfall totals so far, and I just have to stress so far because we've picked up a healthy snow, 3 to 5, almost 6 inches area-wide already, and just think, we still have another 6 to almost 12 inches we'll add on to these totals. Again, we saw those impressive totals across southern Minnesota for the most part. Northern Iowa, we've really missed out on the measurable snow. Some places already seeing 1 to 2 inches, though, with that band that's now clearing out of North Iowa and moving through southern Minnesota. You don't need a radar to see that. The visibility is painting the picture where we are seeing the snow, making it pretty tough to see at times, limiting that visibility throughout the area. Here's 18 West near Clear Lake and I-35. Not too long ago, this scene was pretty tough to see as that burst of snow was coming through northern Iowa. Right now, as I mentioned, that latest trend has lifted the moisture north into southern Minnesota, really riding between Blue Earth and Albert Lee, a band of moderate snow on Interstate 90, and that continues eastward into portions of Mower County and elsewhere. Now, this is a live look with our Mayo Clinic Health System Tower Cam in Albert Lee. That snow coming down still at a pretty good rate in Albert Lee and elsewhere, like in Blooming Prairie, Austin, just to your north, Dexter, seeing the steady snow continuing east into Pilot Mound, north of Preston. Even around Rochester, we're still getting a nice light but persistent snowfall, as you saw with our Broadway Plaza Tower Cam. This band, as I mentioned, was in Iowa this morning, slowly advancing east-northeast, and we are watching this area to the west, more snow building in behind it, so we're not anywhere near done with the snow out of this system. In fact, we still have those winter storm warnings in place. That blizzard warning, Steele and Freeborn County, in locations west of I-35, blizzard conditions likely. That warning for Steele and Freeborn will go into effect at noon here today. Looking at our planner, you're getting the idea that steady light snow stays with us through the midday into the early afternoon. Then as we get into the evening, here comes that first of 2 waves of heavy snow. This will be the more intense snow that's really going to add things up for that storm total snowfall. This is 11 o'clock this morning. This is the band that's out there now. Notice how it lifts north. And then you saw to our south that next wave, the more impressive wave, comes in around 3 o'clock or so. Staying put just in time for that evening commute, 5, 6 o'clock this evening. We're looking at some moderate to possibly even heavy snow at times. But look at the wind out of the northeast at 30 to 35. That is going to be blowing this light snow around very easily, and that is going to aid in that difficult travel. By about 7, 8 o'clock or so, the first wave is through, still dealing with that persistent snow. And notice North Iowa, we can't forget about you guys. We are seeing that mix, more of a mix than snow. That is going to cut back on the overall snowfall totals in a very sharp gradient across north central and northeast Iowa, especially around Highway 18. By midnight, we are tracking that mix to move on out with that second wave of heavy snow to come on back into the picture. That arrives shortly after midnight, staying put through that morning commute. So this evening's commute home from work, tomorrow morning's commute into work will be extremely difficult at times as that wind will continue to blow things around, making for a very difficult travel scene. Intensity map shows where those 2 waves are, again, later this evening, then again tomorrow morning. So how much are we going to see? What we're looking at here, this is how much we're going to add on top of what we already have. So as I mentioned, anywhere between, say, 8 to 12 inches for southern Minnesota, we'll tack on a new 3 to 6 inches across North Iowa. Here's the storm totals that are very impressive for February standards. 15 to 20 inches will be possible across Highway 14 with lower amounts the farther south you go, and you saw that icing potential there as we get into northern Iowa. Wind picks up. That's going to cool us down in a hurry behind the system, so keep it slow on the roads if you don't have to travel.
We're asking our viewers to nominate your favorite teacher that makes learning come alive by incorporating sports and physical fitness into the classroom. The winning teacher will receive tickets for themselves and their entire class to attend the Harlem Globetrotters game on March 19th at the Mayo Civic Center in Rochester. So it's going to be super fun and super exciting. For more information and to nominate a teacher, just head to our website at KAALT.com through March 6th. And now we're taking a live look here at Interstate 35 North at milepost 26.4. As you can see here in this video, the road is experiencing some blowing snow. So please use extra caution when driving or really even walking outside. And download our ABC6 mobile app for the latest weather and road condition updates. Now nearly the entire country on alert from California to Connecticut as two massive storms move across the country. 160 million Americans under strong winds, blizzard, avalanche danger, and ice alerts. This first storm is moving into the plains today with a blizzard possible tonight here in Minnesota and the Dakotas. ABC's Raina Roy has the latest.
Coast to coast, 43 states are on winter storm alerts with two massive storms plowing their way east. An unusual blizzard warning in the mountains just outside of Los Angeles, the first in Southern California in more than 20 years. While Minnesota, no stranger to big snow, activating the National Guard, officials urging people to stay off the roads, travel expected to be impossible, with more snow falling on top of what's already there.
Wind gusts are going to be near 50 miles an hour. It is going to be impossible travel conditions.
ABC's Mireya Villarreal in Salt Lake City, Utah.
What is coming down on us right now, all of this snow, it has been snowing for 12 hours straight.
State employees told to stay home today, authorities issuing an avalanche warning, which comes after 3 hikers were killed in Washington state after being swept 500 feet down a mountain Sunday. In South Dakota's Rapid City, plows out in force, trying to keep up with the heavy snowfall. This plow pushing a trailer off the road in North Dakota while this white Suburban spun out. In California, in the Bay Area, winds taking down power lines and damaging homes. Down in Texas, winds kicked up dust, reducing visibility to nearly zero.
And here in the Northeast, we are not in the clear with winter storm warnings from upstate New York to New England with an icy mix possible from Pennsylvania to Connecticut. Raina Roy, ABC News, New York.
And coming up in our next half hour, we're checking back in with our team coverage, reporting live in Rochester. Sydney Zatz is sharing what it could take to pull the plows off the roads. And Devin Martin is checking back in with how people are getting ready for even more snow later tonight. As well as Jim with your Alert Day weather first. Stay with us.
Oh, man. I can't believe I'm missing this. Okay, Grandma. I see you.
Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. It keeps you, your community, and loved ones protected. Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
11:30 on the dot. Thanks for watching us right here on ABC 6 News Daytime, dealing with that winter storm, now pushing that next band of moderate snow through southern Minnesota, causing for another round of tricky commuting across the area. And we're not done just yet. We're going to watch more snow build in from the south as we go into the late afternoon and evening, and that's going to be the first of two very impressive waves of snow. That's why we have winter storm warnings and then eventually blizzard warnings going into effect at the noon hour for Steele and Freeborn County. You can see the intensities going up in two distinct patterns, the second one for the morning tomorrow. So Jesse, even though some of us might be experiencing kind of a lull, don't let that fool you. This evening is going to be really difficult travel and again tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I know we've been talking about it so much. I'm just kind of sitting here in anticipation.
Yeah.
And I know we're going to be very busy tomorrow on the morning show.
Yep.
So it is not stopped for us.
And we've already picked up 5 inches. We're going to add on another 6 to maybe 12 on top of that.
Wow.
Wow is all we can say.
Our season high is just going up.
Yep.
Through the roof. All right, thanks, Joe.
You bet.
Now, crews have been hard at work clearing the roads this morning with a round of heavier snow on the way. The next day or so could be a challenge for plow drivers. ABC 6 News Good Morning reporter Sydney Zatz is live in Rochester to share if it's possible plows could also stay hunkered down. Sydney.
Good morning, Jesse. I am here in Rochester, right off of Civic Center Drive Southwest by the Olmsted County History Center. Let me tell you, things are getting icky, slippery very quick again. And as Jim mentioned, this is just another round of snow, but those roads are getting slick. There is a thin layer of ice underneath some of them. Now let's talk about snowplows. There are more than 100 snowplows out on the roads in southeast Minnesota across 11 counties, keeping everyone safe. 102 plows to be exact. And the goal is to keep that many plows out on the roads. Mike Doherty with the Minnesota Department of Transportation says drivers are working 12-hour shifts for this storm, and they are prepared for the worst. Pulling them off the roads rarely happens.
Our job is about keeping the highways open. So, but we always review what are the conditions, and if they are such that either our snowplows just aren't making any good headway, if they're at risk, if they're starting to slide off the road, that's not good. So they make that assessment as we go along.
And Doherty says that assessment will be made tonight on factors like how fast the snow is blowing. He also says that if plows are not on the road, you shouldn't be either. Again, if you can stay home, you really should. But if you do have to go out, drive safe and be safe. In Rochester, Sydney Zatz, ABC 6 News.
All right, Sydney, thank you. And as snowplow drivers are out clearing the roads, we want to help keep you safe and remind you that when driving, be sure to give the plows plenty of space. They're doing this for your safety, so give them space for their safety and for your safety too. But it's not just drivers that are out clearing the snow this morning. Many people are out and about cleaning up the snow that fell overnight. ABC 6 News anchor Devin Martin joins us live from downtown Rochester. Devin, how are people going out there today?
Hey, Jesse. Well, people are going about their day in a lot of different ways, quite frankly. People have their snow blowers out, and of course they have the infamous shovel. And they are honestly their best friends these next few days. And the people I talk to are really keeping them close by.
I'm just trying to make sure that I'm staying on top of the shoveling so that I don't have to lift a ton of snow by the time all of it is on the ground.
It's the sound of music. It's a tune we're all used to by now after a snowfall. And these Med-City residents are doing what they can to stay ahead.
I've learned that if I let the snow get too deep and the snow plows put too much stuff at the end of my driveway, it becomes harder and harder to clear, so I'm clearing in stages.
Waited for the plows to come by and give me a nice new little mess to clean up at the end of the driveway here. So now I have to get my garbage can out, and that's kind of what I'm working on.
As it's day 2 of this winter storm, the cleanup process is just starting. The people I talk to say they could have done much better to prepare.
I wish I had replaced my snowblower a year ago, but I haven't, so I'm doing the best I can with an aging snowblower.
Have fun. Let your dogs run around, let your kids play, and just enjoy the weather.
Jesse, these Med-City residents are very optimistic that they can weather this storm. Now, I chose this live shot location because quite frankly, look at this. There is so much work to do with clearing the sidewalk. So I'm going to get to work just to show you guys at home how easy it is to clean up this snow here for today. So I'm going to use one hand because I have this in my other hand. But as you can see, it easily just scrapes away. You want to make sure you use your legs and your back and make sure you just clear it as much as you can, quite frankly. And it looks like this. It is very, 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 it just blows away. It kind of reminds me of pixie dust in a lot of different ways because of that reason. And that's pretty much about it, right? People are optimistic that they can do this, cleaning this up the best way possible. But again, as we've been saying on the morning show, as we're saying in this show, preparation is key. If you do go outside, make sure to hydrate beforehand, make sure to stretch beforehand so you don't injure yourself. That is quite frankly the most important thing, that you stay safe out in these conditions. In Rochester, Devin Martin, ABC 6 News. Back to you, Jesse and Jim.
Evan, again, with the second round of snow about to move into our area, it's important to stay up to date with the latest conditions. So make sure to download the ABC 6 mobile app for your winter and storm needs, including school closures and the latest forecast. We're turning now to controversy over video from the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, never made public before. It was reportedly turned over to Fox News by the new Speaker of the House, and critics are raising security and ethical concerns. Fox News host Tucker Carlson says that he has been given access to more than 40,000 hours of unreleased surveillance footage from the January 6th attack. According to multiple reports, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy granted Tucker's team access to the video. Carlson continues to repeatedly spread conspiracy theories about January 6th.
Looking back, you could probably call what happened on January 6th a riot. We have called it that. But really only just a riot. Maybe just barely.
Carlson did not provide any more details about the video, saying his team's findings will be made public soon. And McCarthy's office did not respond to an ABC News request for comment.
We are tracking the latest road conditions across the area. Plenty of slick spots, some trouble spots, especially where we're seeing blue, more so pink. That's completely covered with snow, and that's not just for southern Minnesota. North Iowa, same story. One of the two vehicles involved in that two-vehicle accident near 40th Street South on 63 has been cleared, so still watch out for that other one. Likely a slower go there. Likely the result of the inclement weather in the form of snow we have across the area. This band of snow in Minnesota came from Iowa that has now crossed over the state line, and you can see that narrow band of moderate to even heavy snow at times still advancing east-northeastward with more snow back building to our west. So nowhere near done with the snow. We will see another lull as we get into the midday and early afternoon, but by this evening it's really going to be ramping up, and then again later on tonight. And with the heavier snow, the wind will be at its strongest as well. So we are looking at extremely difficult travel, folks, maybe even impossible at times later this evening, tonight, and into early Thursday morning. If you don't have to travel, maybe don't. We have the alert day status in place today and again tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Jim. Now coming up next, it happens to all of us, and especially happens to me a lot. We lose our phone. Our consumer technology reporter has some advice to help us track them down.
It is a bad feeling losing your phone when you're out and about, but Google and Apple both make it easy for a friend to find it for you. I'm Jamie Tucker. I'll show you how coming up.
The Custom Alarm Advantage offers you the latest in security and home automation. Our knowledgeable security consultants will meet with you to discuss what your needs are, whether it's security, life safety, or home automation, to make your busy life easier. Simplify your life with professional installation and manage all your devices from one easy-to-use app. With over 55 years of experience, choose a local, professional security solution company you can trust. Choose Custom Alarm. Call or visit us online today.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong. Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Welcome back. If this hasn't happened to you, it's still easy to imagine how stressful it could be to lose your phone. All those contacts, websites, logins, and photos could be gone. You can spend hours trying to find it, or you could just ask a friend to help you find it. And as our consumer technology reporter Jamie Tucker explains, a simple trick can locate a lost phone in minutes.
So you're out and about with a friend and you realize you've lost your phone. Did you leave it in a dressing room? Did it fall on the floor at a coffee shop? Or maybe it just dropped between the car seats. You can call it, you can retrace your steps, but Google and Apple actually make it pretty easy for your friend to find it for you, yet most people don't know how. If an iPhone's Find My is turned on, a friend can see where it is using their Find My app, even if you're not sharing location. Just open the Find My app on their phone, and at the bottom you'll see Help a Friend. Enter the Apple ID and password associated with the lost device. It will show up on a map on the friend's phone, showing precisely where it is. If it's at a large store or someplace like a ballpark, they can actually zoom in on the location. They can also have it make a sound. If you fear it's been stolen, they can put it in lost mode, which lets you search for it or erase everything. But if you erase the phone, keep in mind it won't show up on a map when you search. On Android phones, it's also simple. Just go to google.com/android/find and log in with your Google account on their phone. It will show up on a map of its last known location, probably where it is right then. You can play a sound on the phone, even if it's set to silent, and display a message asking that whoever picks it up to give you a call. You'll find the phone quickly, save some heartache, and enough time to buy your friend lunch. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker for ABC 6 News.
And you can search using Find My on any Apple device or using any web browser. Coming up at 4 o'clock, you'll see the latest episode of The Kelly Clarkson Show. Here's a look at what you can expect to see today.
He's one of my new fellow coaches on The Voice, Niall Horan. So you've definitely perfected the Blake impression.
This is my last season on The Voice. I want you to be on my team.
Yep.
That's what it usually
That
sounds
sums
like.
it up. Hit me with your best shot. We're having a song battle.
What I really want to know is,
are you gonna go my way?
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
desk.
Welcome back. We're taking a live look outside with our Mayo Clinic Health System Tower Cam. Right now it is 18 degrees, snowing. It's going to warm up a little bit, but that snow is only going to get heavier. Well, yesterday our very own Devin Martin brought you the story of Ari Chambers-Baltz and his battle with hyper-IgM syndrome. Little Ari is in need of a life-saving bone marrow transplant or peripheral blood stem cell transplant. Currently, there are 39 million people registered in the Be the Match transplant registry. But at this time, there is still not a single match for Ari. But now we're sharing one of the success stories of the One Match Second Chance. Already, the program has seen an incredible response to the call for people across the country to get swabbed and join the bone marrow registry. Here's a look back over at the last 5 months and the journey of togetherness. In this mission, we can bring hope and provide a life-saving gift to those who need it most. ABC's Robin Roberts has more.
Armando, come on out! There you are. Is there something you want to say?
Thank you for giving me a second chance at life.
Over the past 5 months, our series, One Match, Second Chance, highlighting stories of everyday heroes.
It doesn't feel like a job when every single day you're doing what you love.
Hi, guys. Hi. Hope.
Well, now we're family.
Yeah. Wonderful, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And the spirit of humanity.
Oh my God.
I was so happy and so honored to meet her. And to just say thank you, Alika, because without her, my son wouldn't be here.
Our goal, to help save more lives through a simple swab, turning into a unified nationwide effort, partnering with Be the Match, our ABC-owned stations, and several of our ABC affiliates.
It can happen to anyone, and that is why drives like this are so important.
Going live across 5 college campuses.
I am here at Villanova University, my alma mater.
Everyone here at Howard University is ready to be the match for somebody.
Joined by basketball titans Coach K and Don Staley.
When you give the gift of life, you give the family members peace of mind. You give the person life.
And students showing up in droves.
They showed up at 5 o'clock this morning, and they all got swabbed.
And even you at home, stepping up, using our hashtag GMA Swab to Save.
I owe my life to a donor who signed up at a drive just like this one.
By shining a light on the need, you answered the call. Approximately 7,000 people signing up for the Be the Match registry during this series alone. The impact, immeasurable. The gift of life for more moments like these.
Give a round of applause to AJ's match.
Something you want to say there?
Thank you for saving my life.
Hi Robin, this is AJ. Congratulations on celebrating 10 years.
Hi Robin, Alex and Carter here wishing you a happy 10 years. Thank you so much for using your voice for the past decade to help so many people find their matches.
As my mama said, make your mess your message to help generations to come.
Wow, that is just so powerful. And if you would like to help Ari become one of those success stories, there will be a Be a Match drive in honor of Ari in Rochester Apache Mall on May 11th. And if you'd like more information on becoming a donor, you can text KAAL to 61474 or go to our website for a link. And Jim will have a look at your final weather first forecast after the...
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Yes, it's an alert day. Look at the snowfall totals so far. This is not taking into consideration the snow that's across southern Minnesota right now. Picking up before that band arrived, 3 to 6 inches area wide. Same for North Iowa. We're not taking into consideration that band that just moved through. Haven't heard of any reports really from there just yet. You're getting the idea, not as much, and that was expected with that trend continuing. Now, we can clearly see where the snow is falling as it's very tough to see in those areas. We want a 10 on this map like in Owatonna. Far cry from that with the steady and persistent snow continuing throughout the area. Here's Highway 18 west and I-35 near Clear Lake. There was an accident around this area not too long ago, so please drive with extra caution. Be prepared for very low visibility, slick spots, and then maybe even that spin out ahead of you without moment's notice. So drive with extra caution, go slow, and keep your headlights on. There's the snow, as I mentioned, really inundating southern Minnesota, now lifting just north of Interstate 90. So from Wells through northern Freeborn County, getting to Blooming Prairie, just around the Austin area north of there, Dexter and Stewartville, seeing that steady snow continuing in your communities this early afternoon. Same for portions of Olmsted, Dodge, the rest of northern Mower, and even into Fillmore County. That persistent snow continues that way, and you can see it's looking pretty, the visibility is looking a little low as we look at that snow on top of Broadway Plaza. Satellite and radar, we are tracking this band moving north-northeast with time. More will build in from the south, so we're not done with it just yet. The more intense rounds of snow, if you think this was intense, we're going to see 2 distinct waves later this afternoon into the evening, then again late tonight. That'll be even more intense than this one. We do have blizzard warnings that will go into effect within the next, say, 5 minutes across Steele and Freeborn County. Those are in place until noon tomorrow. Winter storm warnings in effect for everyone else. Looking at our planner then, the steady snow stays with us now. Here comes that first of the 2 distinct heavy snow waves, as I mentioned, for the evening, and that second heavy wave comes through shortly after midnight. You're going to see it here on Storm Tracker. The wave out there now lifts north, and then watch what happens. That secondary wave comes on through for the afternoon and early evening. And south of that, we have to talk about this potential, the icing threat. Freezing rain will really build in that icing concern across central and especially east central Iowa. That will clip our northeastern Iowa communities as we go throughout the rest of the day today. So please be aware of that, especially Highway 18 and south. Roads will become pretty icy heading into the evening. And then tonight, here comes that more robust wave of snow shortly after midnight, as I mentioned, lasting all the way into that morning commute tomorrow. And that's going to cause for a slow go after this evening's slow go. So how much more are we expecting? Widespread 8 to 12 inches. This is on top of what we've already picked up, on top of that 3 to 6 inches we've already seen across southern Minnesota, with an additional 3 to 6 inches across North Iowa. Totaling it up then for the storm total, 10 to 15 area wide for southern Minnesota, slightly higher marks from Highway 14 and north of there, lower totals, again, due to that icing threat across northern Iowa. And then we're going to see the wind pick up behind this storm again for Friday. That's going to tumble those temperatures. Things settle down, but then we cool down in a hurry, Jesse. 10 below that wake-up temperature. Wind chills Friday, 20 below. So we just have to get through the snow before we get to Friday, and it is going to be, again, a troublemaker. I know Devin was out there shoveling. He didn't have that much to shovel. He said it's so easy. Well, yeah, this
Don't say that tomorrow.
No.
Don't say it tomorrow.
You know what? If it's so easy, he can come do mine.
Yeah. I don't have a driveway, but if I did, he could do it too.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Jim, and thank you for